Okay, to do the first exercise for the calendar unit, download the Desk Calendar Exercise folder. And when you open up this folder, here's the contents that it should have. First, I'm giving you a copy of the exercise instructions, and there's two other folders. Within the Color Swatches folder, I'm giving you a variety of color swatches that we can use for this exercise. If you look at the image, you'll get an idea of what the color swatches are and also the name of the color swatch, and each one is going to be slightly different. And I'm also giving you an ASE file. These ASE files are what Adobe products use to save their color swatches, and we'll use this to load each of these appropriate swatches into our exercise. The second thing I'm giving you is some predefined styles. As you lay out this exercise, you can use these styles as a starting point or to copy and learn from to build up your particular calendar. Now, there are three different layouts that you can choose from. I highly encourage you to develop your own layout in your own style. But if this is all new to you, feel free to copy exactly what I have and try to learn the basics of the tools and the techniques that we are using. But just know you only have to pick one style. So let's jump in and get started. I'll select InDesign. Let's go up to File and create a new document. The size of our document is going to be measured in inches. The width of it is going to be 7 inches wide with a height of 5 inches. Make sure facing pages is not checked on. And we're going to have 12 pages total, one page for each of the months. Scrolling on down, we'll keep the columns at 1, and the margins are going to be 0 inches on all sides. We really don't need to have any margins. Finally, we'll turn on the bleed and slug and set 0.0125, that's 1/8 of an inch, on all sides of our document. Once this is set up, actually I typed in 0.125 on all sides. Once that's typed in, we'll say create, and this is the document that we have. We'll need to open up our Pages panel, and if you don't see the pages, remember you can go to Window, make sure Pages is checked on, and you can see there's 12 different pages ready to go. Now what we don't want to do is to start a design on one page and then have to copy and change the information for all 12 of the pages. Instead, we're going to work in our master pages. If you go back to the Pages panel, look at the very top of it and find the A Master. If you don't see A Master, you can click and drag the little bar, and that'll drag it down till you can see it. Within this A Master, wherever that master is being used on your page layout, that will copy the information. So let's double click on the A Master. This will go into this master mode. And notice now that we're in the A Master mode. We're not on any regular page. So whatever we put here will automatically populate to these pages. The first thing I want to do is to load up my color swatches. Let's open up my swatches panel. I can go to Window, down to Color, and choose Swatches. Within the Swatches panel, there are some predefined swatches already there, but I'm going to choose the Swatch Options and do Load Swatches. And this is where I can choose some of those color swatches that I've already given you. So be sure to select the Exercise folder, go to the Swatches, not Styles, go to the Swatches. And for mine, I'm going to use the Urban Groove swatch. Again, you can use any swatch colors that you want, and we'll say Open. And that'll add all of these predefined colors in their own folder at the bottom of your swatches panel. Let's go back to our Pages panel. The next thing I want to do is to load up one of the styles off to the left-hand side. This way I can use it as a reference when I do my layout. So go into one of these styles. You can pick whatever style you want it to use. I like this style number 1, so I'll drag it onto my page. Whenever you click and drag, this will place it in there that exact size. Now we can get started for the layout of all the different parts of our calendar. The first thing we want to create is a grid for all of our numbers within the calendar. To do this, I'm going to grab my Type tool. Let's go over to our board. We'll zoom out just a little bit. To create a grid of type text frames, I'm going to click and drag. And while I'm still holding down my mouse key, I'm going to hit my arrow buttons. My right arrow will add columns, and so I need to add 7 columns. There's 5, 6, 7. Then I need to have 6 rows. So hit the down arrow, the up arrow, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I've got a set of 7 rows and 6 columns, all of different text boxes. And these text boxes are automatically linked up. If we go to View, to Extras, we can show the text threads, and you can see they're automatically ready to go. So whatever I place in one, I can populate into the others. Let's go back to Extras and hide our text threads. Now to place the numbers inside of these text boxes, I'm going to click on the first one, type the number 1, and instead of hitting a series of spaces or tabs, I'm going to go to Type, down to Insert Break Character, and we want to do a frame break. The keyboard shortcut for this is Shift and the Enter key. This is not the return key. The Enter key can be found next to your keypad on the far right-hand side. But if you're using a laptop, you'll need to hold Shift, Function, and then hit Return. So once we insert a frame break, this will take us to the next frame. We can type in the number 2. Again, we can either go up to Type, insert a break character, a frame break. There's number 3. Or we can do Shift Enter and continue typing them this way. This way is a little bit faster. So I'm going to hit Shift Enter, 5, 6, all the way till we get 31 numbers. 30 and 31. With this done, we can choose our selection tool, our black arrow, then select all of the text frames, and now we can align up their alignment within their text boxes. In order to vertically align it, we can go up to go to Object, Text Frame Options. We'll set our vertical justification to be centered. Then we can choose our Type tool. This will give us all of our type options. And then select our text in all the text boxes and set that to be centered. Now they're nice and centered within all of our text frames. Let's do the same thing and add the days of the week at the very top. Grab your Type tool, click and drag. We'll use our right arrow to add 7 text frames. And let's do Sunday through Saturday. So Sunday, Shift Enter, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. We'll select all of those, center them up, and then we'll choose Object, Text Frame Options, and we'll set their alignment to be centered within their text boxes. Once we like this, I can move it around as necessary, and then later on I can also play around with the font and the colors that are inside of it. The next thing we need to create is a series of lines that go off to the left-hand side that will allow me to write some notes or to doodle down some quick notes on our calendar. To quickly create a series of lines, let's choose our Line tool. Up at the very top, I'm going to set my fill color to be none. I just get into a habit of doing that. And I'll keep my stroke color at black for now and 1 point. I'm going to click and drag and just draw off a straight line. Now to quickly copy this line going down, with the line selected, go to Edit and Step and Repeat. Step and Repeat will allow you to quickly repeat a copy of that selected object a certain number of times and a certain offset distance. I'm going to set preview to be checked on so I can see what changes are being made. We'll set our offset vertical to be 1 pica, so 1 P0, a horizontal offset of 0 inches, and a repeat count of 15. So as I increase this, you can see the number of copies being made all the way down till 15. Once we're done, we can say OK, and now we've got it set. If I need to, I can use my selection tool to go back in and select these, move them to exactly where they want to go, or even click and drag and change the width and placement of those on my page. Now that I've got the basics set up for my calendar, let's play around and add some styling to the rest of my design. Naturally, I want to have the month indicated, I want to have my name and some contact information, and I want to give it an area where I can either add a Bible verse or some sort of quote to my style or my design. So for now, let's add the month to the very top. I'll even place it inside of its own text box. We'll make it January. Highlight it. I'll center it up under Object, Text Frame Options. Set it to be center. And we'll make it much larger. Remember, it's up to you how you want to style it. You don't have to do exactly what I've done. I'll leave it up to you and your discretion of how you want it to look, as long as it's got exactly what I'm looking for and you're following the basics of the instructions. I do want it to follow whatever color scheme that you've chosen. So these swatches, these are the swatches that I will be working in whenever I start adding my color. Let's also add a place for my name and contact info. I'll put it over here. So I'll just do Mr. Ivy. Make that larger. And underneath this, let's put some contact information. I'll just do my email address for now. Oops. And down here at the bottom is where I'll add a simple Bible verse. And for now, I'm just going to put dummy text to indicate what that will look like. Once I've got all the elements onto my page, now it's a simple matter of playing around with the style, the colors, and the placement. Okay, once you get the style that you like for your overall theme for your calendar, now it's time to go in and customize it for each of the individual pages. To do this, we can get rid of our original one, so let's delete that away. We'll go back to our Pages panel and then double click on page 1. Notice that now on page 1, 2, 3, all of the pages, they look exactly the same. And this is good, but now we want to be able to change up and alter the information, specifically the dates and the months and the quotes down at the bottom. So to alter something, you can hold down the Shift and the Command keys as you click on it. If I try to click on January, nothing's going to happen. Hold down Shift and Command, click on January, and now you can make changes. In this case, of course, we want to start off with January, but let's find out what date that January starts on. I'm going to pull up my calendar for 2018. Let's go back one, and I can see January the 1st started on a Monday. So going down to here, hold down Shift and Command, click on our text boxes, then I can grab my Type tool, place it next to the 1 and hit Tab until the 1 is now under a Monday. Let's scroll down and do the same for the next month. Shift and Command, click on this one. This will be February. We'll go to our calendar and see that February started on a Thursday. So I'll hold down Shift and Command, click on my text box, and then tab over till the 1 is now under a Thursday. Repeat this process for all of the months. Each of the months should have the appropriate month starting on the correct day, and then finally add some sort of Bible verse or quote down at the very bottom. When you're finished, we need to package this file and upload it to Moodle. So let's go to File and Package, and then step through all of the package things to create that package folder. Remember, this folder is what you're going to compress or zip and then upload to Moodle. So once we hit Package, mine will be saved to the desktop. Here's the folder that we have. Hold down Control and click on it, compress it, and then this zip file is what you'll upload to Moodle for this exercise.